Chapter 16. No Jan. But I am. You have to listen, Mrs. Ward. Don't call me that again. Okay, Tina. Not that either. Mum, that's who I am. Mum. 2 days had passed. Both Ryan and Mr. Carter in their respective swap bodies had been discharged from hospital. As far as the doctors were concerned, Mr. Carter seemed absolutely fine. Ryan, they felt, was taking a bit longer. He continued to scream for some time after he'd woken up, particularly when Mr. Carter was in his view. And then, even after the head teacher had been allowed to go, the boy began to claim that it was, in fact, he who was Mr. Carter, that something terrible had happened and they needed to call a specialist. The doctors had both looked at each other. One of them said to Tina, "Well, I suppose we could call a duty physician," on which point Tina had said, "Don't be ridiculous, he'll be fine once things get back to normal," and had taken him home. Well, fortunately, it wasn't fine. He was still saying, I just continued the conversation from earlier. "Yes, I understand why you think that you're my mother, Tina, but Mum, not Tina." Tina, who was Ryan's mum, didn't look at him when she said that. She was feeding carrot-coloured mush to Holly. Chocolate. We haven't got any chocolate. Where are you seeing chocolate?" Mr. Carter screwed up his now very young face and took a deep breath. "The thing is, Mum, I'm not actually your son. I'm not..." "Jan," said Holly, pointing at him. "No, Jan." She started to cry. "Ryan," Tina said to him, "you're upsetting Holly." "No, Jan." Mr. Carter stared at the baby, who was still pointing at him through her sobs. "Well, am I upsetting her? Or maybe in some sort of primal pre-cognitive way, she knows I'm telling the truth and that I am not Ryan Ward. I am Ryan. I don't want to hear the words again. I am Mr. Carter. Okay? I don't get this pretending to be the head teacher by speaking in big words prank. Whatever it is, I don't know what you're planning. I'm sure it's very clever and will make everyone at school think you're really great, but I don't care. I've got a lot to think about. I'm tired, I'm simply not interested. But, no buts. Thank you very much." Mr. Carter opened his mouth and then, realising that this was something he used to say quite a lot to children, shut it again. "And eat your vegetables." "Pardon?" Tina pointed to his plate. "Eat your vegetables." Mr. Carter, the head teacher, looked down. "Well, I don't really like peas." "Don't be stupid." "But I don't." "Chocolate." Peas are the only vegetable you do like. That's why I'm making them for you with everything. Have you got any kale by chance? I like that. Fried with a touch of garlic. Tina stared at him. She shook her head, picking up the baby's plate, took it over to the sink and began scrubbing. "I think that's clean now, Mrs. began Mr. Carter. Tina looked up, daggers in her eyes. "Mum." She carried on scrubbing. Mr. Carter got up from the table and came round to the sink. "It's just, I don't know what to say. I know it seems ridiculous, but I am. My name is Michael John Carter. I am 43 years old. I've been a teacher since I was 22. I specialise in teaching maths and science. My first degree is in physics and I have a supplementary degree in education." "Wow, well done, Ryan, for checking Mr. Carter's background on the internet. I'm sure it's all there." "No, obviously we all know there isn't much else to your head teaching than being a head teacher. He does seem very dull and very strict." "Well, but when you can tell me something about what Mr. Carter is really like as a person, well, then I might begin to listen to whatever it is you're trying to say." Mr. Carter opened his mouth to speak, then he frowned. He wasn't sure what to say to this, and so, instead, he went back to the table and began slowly finishing his dinner. "Chocolate," said the baby. "Ch-ch, it's chocolate," said Mr. Carter, in between mouthfuls of peas. "Chocolate," said the baby.